Well, welcome everybody. It's time for us to have a look ahead at the US Open at Winged Foot, the 120th Open. And it's a bit odd because it's not normally at this time of the year. As you see, Barney Girnun is with me. And in years gone by, the significance of Father's Day for Barney Girnun might have actually had a slightly different significance, but now, of course, it's a bit different. When they play this normally, Barney, I think the Sunday is Father's Day, but of course it's not going to be because it's later on in the year.
Yeah, it's obviously we're living in crazy times, aren't we? Mad year that it is. And I also had a kid. Maybe that had something to do with it, Neil. I shocked the gods, I think.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that it's completely different significance for you now because you're a dad and growing up very quickly. But no Father's Day when it ends Sunday, and I think it's normally Phil Mickelson's birthday or something like that. But it's a different roster now. But nevertheless, apart from Brooks Koepka, there's no Koepka, but it's a hell of a field, Barney, and it's going to be 4 thrilling days on a great golf course.
Oh yeah, I mean this is golfing utopia. We love our US Opens. They make the courses very, very tough. And this is obviously being played on a course that is a Winged Foot that is one of the most famous and most notorious golf courses in America. You know, that's where Mickelson lost, he nearly won it, and nearly won the Grand Slam there, but Jeff Ogilvy perped him. And I was fortunate enough this week, actually earlier today, Neil, to speak to Grant Veenstra, the coach who's there with Christian Bezuidenhout. And he did say that, you know, at the moment, the way the course is looking at the moment, even par would be a great, great score.
Wow.
But if it gets any harder than that, he sees between 2 and 5 over winning this thing. That's how tough it is. That's what he said. And he said there is rain predicted for Friday, 40%. And if it does rain, it'll make it a little bit easier.
Yes.
But I don't know if you've seen on social media, there's been a lot of footage from a few caddies, and they've all sent it out as they always do. But the greens look phenomenally fast. I mean, they look like, I don't know if you've seen it, but it does look frightening.
So what does that mean for us trying to find a winner? You're looking for bogey avoidance, you're looking for scrambling, you're looking for someone who can find 4 days. If the putter works and works for them, maybe those 3 are the significant parts of Winged Foot. Or what are you looking for in terms of the game to win it?
Well, Grant made it pretty clear you don't have to be long at this course. It's not you don't have to be a bomber or a banger. I think finding the fairway is vitally important because the rough's obviously a certain length and it's very, very thick. So you got to look for a good driver of a golf ball who can really, really putt. And he's going to have a great week and a bit of luck this week because you're going to need a bit of luck in a course like this. And anyone who really drives the ball well and who putts very well will win this tournament. And immediately you think of a guy like Brendan Todd, Neil, who's
great putter.
You don't miss too many fairways, and he can really, really putt. He's not that long, but he's been playing really well in the last year and a half. I know my mate Millie, he told me he likes Kevin Kisner at 100 to 1.
Sure.
Also hits the ball straight. I think, so I would say the driving of the golf ball here is premium, and obviously you're going to have to putt well.
Okay, well, we're going to have a look at the betting together. I've written my name. I've written it here down. I'm going to show you later because I've got one guy I like. I want to see if he comes up on your radar. But first of all, I don't know if you've noticed, but OG and I have been doing a couple of these. The story I'm putting out is that OG's busy today and can't join us. But the truth of the matter is, matey, I can't keep putting him on. He's embarrassing me because every week he tips the winner. And my Oaks can't get out. Well, they make the cut, but that's beyond that. I mean, he tipped Colin Morikawa when Colin Morikawa won.
Yes.
Last week he said, Dustin Johnson, don't look anywhere else. He's top. He's going to blow them all out of the water. And every week his golfer does better than mine. But I did say to him, Barney, that he must send me his fancies. So I'm just going to go on WhatsApp because he sent them earlier to me because there'll be thousands of fans saying, I don't want to hear Neil Andrews. I want to hear OG Molefe. So I'll tell you what OG said. He said, Neil, I'm going with John Rahm and Daniel Berger as my second favorite. What do you think?
I love his choices. John Rahm is my first pick. That's my first pick.
Okay.
John Rahm, playing really well. Loves to drive the ball. Loves to hit driver straight, and generally does. And obviously been putting well lately. So I'm going to be on John Rahm, and you can't go wrong with Daniel Berger because when we come back from lockdown, Daniel Berger's probably been the most consistent golfer out there. And he also hits the ball quite straight as well. So, and has been playing really well, as I just said. So, yeah, very good choices by OG, I reckon.
Okay, well, I might as well just probably stop the broadcast and just say back those two, because every week OG gets it right. And
there's a few others we need to discuss.
No, absolutely. But I wanted to point out, before we go any further, because as you see, I put the US Open Wingfoot picture behind me, and this guy just popping up over here is the defending champion, Gary Woodland, who's lost he, unlike Bryson DeChambeau, who's gone like this, Woodland actually lost weight. And I think he's 70-1. I mean, it's tough to retain a US Open, though, surely.
Yeah, to retain, listen, obviously it has been done. Curtis Strange did it back in the 1980, I think it was 89-90 that Curtis Strange won 2 US Opens on the trot. But I can't see it being done here, and not by Gary Woodland, a great player, but I can't see that happening. So, if you look down that leaderboard, obviously Justin Thomas, he normally features, he's going to be there.
Well, I've got some betting
there. Neil, for me, the big, can it happen? Can the major big story, can Mickelson somehow do something this week? He played one senior event, which he won by about 8 shots.
Yes.
Yeah. Obviously, he doesn't hit the ball that straight. It's going to count against him. But this is the golf course where he should have won the US Open and bombed that drive of his left, I think it was on the 18th. So, as a low each way, I'm going to go for Mickelson as well, just for a fairy tale here.
Well,
I think it's 75-1.
Yeah, he's such a big price. You could take top 10 or top 20 for him. Anyway, I've got the AfriBet, courtesy of the AfriBet boys, the betting on screen. Yes. I'll quickly whip through it. I mean, Dustin Johnson is the favourite and deserves to be favourite with the all-round game. But we always look for value. And obviously, Dustin Johnson, effectively at 8.5-1, is favourite. 9.5-1, John Rahm. These are all guys that go without saying.
Xander Schauffele is very short, eh?
I've been for him. I went for him at the Tour Championship, and he's been disappointing. Now, I give him one more chance. I wonder, because this track, he's very good at bogey avoidance. He needs his putter to get hot, which is, I suppose, true of a lot of them. Yeah, very true. What about Webb Simpson? Neil, Danger Man.
Okay. Danger Man.
Right. So now, here we go. Are you ready as we look?
Yes.
That's my man.
I like him.
I'm so glad you mentioned him.
I was going to have a few rand on him as well.
So I want to show you that, because let's go back to that betting. We've got it here, and I think he's 24-1. So
not a bad price.
No, and you're getting quite a nice little bit of value. For me, these guys can all win, obviously. DJ and Rahm, and even Xander Schauffele at 14-1. But 24-1 is quite a nice price. There's Daniel Berger, by the way, also a nice price at 28-1. And then further down, Patrick Cantlay, who's a bit streaky, Tommy Fleetwood.
There's my other fancy, Neil, Tommy Fleetwood. I saw on the weekend in Europe, there in Portugal, that he definitely found something in the last 2 days with his swing, and he's a really good putter. So if he drives the ball well, he's going to have a big chance, Tommy Fleetwood. I just hope that when he gets into the battle on the last day, on Sunday afternoon, I hope he can finish it,
Yeah, so we'll go and have a look at the second page of golfers, because now we're getting into the realms of real good value. There's Gary Woodland, 70-1. I just popped him on there because he is the defending champion. Louis Oosthuizen, matey. He's been playing. He hasn't been far off them. I just think that sometimes there's a bad round thrown in, but he has been playing some nice golf.
Well, obviously, now we're going to say it again, if he putts well. But Louis Oosthuizen, if he putts well, look at him in majors. He holds, he's come second in every major, Neil, which is an unbelievable achievement in its own right. So he does play well in majors. He should have won the Masters. He should have won the Open again. He's always up there. So you can't be too wrong with Louis Oosthuizen either.
Yeah, and some others. I'll just go through for the folks to have a look at the AfriBet betting here. We're on to the second page. Patrick Reed.
What about, you would say Tony Finau has been playing well, but has he got, the impression I get about him is he'll play well the first 2 rounds or 3 rounds, but when it comes down to that last day, I just don't feel he can finish, you know?
Yes. I saw that young Alistair Cohen said today on Twitter that he's got his money on Tony Finau, but you're right. And I think I'm right in saying he hasn't won a PGA Tour event. Now, when you're coming down the 18th on the final day, you know, all of that experience, you want to have that in your locker to draw on, for me.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I tell you who I do like a little bit. I've just seen him now, is Harris English, who's had a very good season.
Playing well.
From losing his tour card, I think he had to go to the Corn Ferry Tour and come back. He could be somebody who's playing well within himself, not exceptionally long, so I don't think that'll be a problem for him.
No, definitely. I mean, if you look for a real shock or a real outsider, he's definitely amongst the best picks when you're looking for a roughie. What price is he, Neil?
I'm just seeing here he's 60 to 1. 60 to 1 you're going to be getting 10 to 1 a place, 12 to 1 a place.
10 to 1 a place, yeah. You know, if Colin Morikawa hadn't won the PGA, I'd be having a very big look at him. For me, what a talent that kid is. But, you know, I just don't think he's going to win the US Open and the PGA in 1 year.
Yeah, and they are just some unbelievable golfers on tour. I mean,
you know, we talk about golf. We're talking about golf now in the majors. That crowd factor of no crowd, I still feel that it affects a guy like Rory more than the other guys. And you know, he needs an adrenaline, maybe even a Patrick Reed or guys like that. I feel that they do miss the crowds. And going back to Rory McIlroy, he just had a little girl. I think her name's Poppy. So will he be more relaxed in the greens now? Just putt them and knock them in from everywhere, and maybe he'll win it. You know, with his kid being born, he might have a different mental outlook as well.
He showed glimpses of it in the Tour Championship, but not enough for me. It's certainly at a value price. You know, when he's starting drifting out to 30 to 1, 35 to 1, then you can say, you know, there's real value there, but not for me. I think it was 14 to 1. It's still too short.
I must tell you, we can look at the leading South African as well. And a Grand Fenster did say to me he's played, he walked with Christian, obviously, and with Louis. And he said Christian Mazzono and Louis were both playing really, really good golf in the practice round. He did say that. So I'm sure, is there a market for leading South African?
I'm sure there is. I haven't had a look, but I definitely think if you go, you'll find.
So I'm sure Louis would be favourite there. But, you know, Christian Mazzono could have a decent tournament as well. You never know. He's been playing some pretty solid golf as well.
Yeah, there's some good South African golfers. I mean, Dylan Fratelli is making a pretty good career of it out there. Not a bad player. And of course, went to college in the US.
There's quite a few South Africans. In fact, I'm sure Norris is playing. JC Ritchie, how about that for a story? JC Ritchie, who's really been winning quite a few events in the Sunshine Tour in the last year or two, and one of our leading players now. And he's over there. He's playing in the US Open. So fair play to him, and good luck to JC Ritchie.
So Barney, let's try and put some names on it. As I say, OG.
So I'm a John Rahm man. I'm going John Rahm, Webb Simpson.
Yep.
Well, also like. And obviously I said Tommy Fleetwood.
Yes. Okay, so those are the three you're going. Just to remind you that OG has John Rahm in common with Barney, and he's also thrown in Daniel Berger.
Daniel Berger.
Yeah, not without a chance.
Yeah. And who are your three, Nielsy?
So definitely, I'll show you again. There he is, Webb Simpson. That's going to be my main player. I like him. I think, you know, if you remember, before the Tour Championship, he rested. And it didn't quite work because he had a very slow start in the Tour Championship. But he came from a hopeless position to actually finish in the middle of the pack. I think I like Webb Simpson. For me, he's got the all-round game for a US Open. He's not particularly long.
And I'll tell you what else he's got, Neil, which is often overlooked. He's got probably the best caddy out there, Paul Tesori. He's really one of the best.
So for me, Webb Simpson, but I'm going to have a couple of cover bets. Harris English at 60 to 1, maybe as a bit of a shrewdy. And I wouldn't be surprised if Xander Schauffele plays well. But it's going to be open. It's fantastic. Excuse the pun. It's going to be open. It's obviously open. 4 days, and we're going to be glued to our television screens watching it, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh, we are. I mean, there's nothing like, and it's on the East Coast, so we don't have to watch them ting off at 11 o'clock, which is a really good thing. This is near New York. There's nothing better for me, Neil, than watching a golf major. And I can tell you, a US Open is right up there because they make that course so tough. And you're ready. If you won a US Open, you're going to need a break for 2 weeks afterwards because it really takes it out of you. And look, South Africa's got a great record at US Opens. Ernie's won 2, Retief won 2, Gary Player's won 1. Wouldn't it be fantastic if we could see another South African major winner? We really are due one, you know.
Yes, yeah, well, we are, and we'll certainly, regardless of what we put our money on, we'll be shouting over the South African for sure, even if he gets up to this.
Of course,
but there it is. There's a man, Barney Girnun. He says he doesn't mind staying up to watch golf. Well, he's got Geordie now, so I suppose that keeps us up at all hours. Thanks very much, Barney. Always a pleasure chatting to you. It's going to be the US Open.
Thank you, Neil.
Thanks, Barney. We'll see you soon. Of course, you can catch Barney on the Premier Fantasies as well. I don't think they got off to a particularly good start, the same as Stars Aligned, but there's a long way to go on that. Barney Girnun talking US Open golf. Enjoy it, everyone.